Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Whatever time of day it is, I hope you are having a fabulous day so far. Welcome to this yoga practice with me, Amy, if you haven't practiced with me before. This is going to be a fun, funky, challenging, full-length Vinyasa flow featuring lots of challenging poses, lots of tricky transitions. I'm going to be throwing little bits of fire at you throughout the practice. Of course, with any class with me, any class with anyone else, everything that I say is optional. You can take things out, you can add things on, make this practice work for you. I would recommend grabbing 2 blocks for this practice. It'll help us to access some of the more challenging poses. Using blocks definitely does not mean making things easier all of the time. It can help us to do poses that we otherwise wouldn't be able to do at all, including some of the more tricky ones. So grab your blocks if you've got them, make your way onto your mat. Without further ado, we will begin in a malasana at the top of the mat. And straight away, this is where your block might come in handy. So you can pop a block underneath your bum as we'll be sitting here for a good few minutes, and it can just give you a little bit of support to help you stay nice and comfortable while we connect to our body and connect to our breath. So you can bring the hands to press together at heart center. You can interlace all 10 fingers, pressing the elbows into the knees, drawing the shoulders and the shoulder blades down towards the earth as you lift the chest and the collarbones up towards the sky. Finding one nice long line from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. Finding that expansion and that opening. Creating space for the breath to move in and out of the belly. I will encourage you to breathe in and out through the nose if that feels comfortable for you. And to send the breath down into the belly, making use of the entire torso. Taking these first few moments to notice whether the breath is maybe stuck in certain places. And just trying to send the breath into every corner. Imagining the breath was like a light and you want to illuminate inside the entire upper body. If there are any areas of tension in the body, maybe bring your attention there. Maybe imagine sending the breath there as you breathe in. Imagine the breath absorbing some of that tension and then taking it away out of the body as you exhale, letting that area of tension soften. Taking a moment to check in with the body in general. How is it feeling? Is it soft and open? Is it tense and tight? No right or wrong answer, just noticing. Now take a moment to check in with how the mind is feeling. Is it frantic? Is it calm? Are there lots of thoughts? Is there stillness? Again, no right or wrong, we're just checking in. Checking in with our mind, with our body, and with our breath. Might be the first time today that you've stopped to notice any of these things. Take 5 more breaths here on your own making them soft, slow, smooth, enjoying a few moments in stillness before we begin to move. As you are ready, you can keep the block underneath you for now, or you can remove it. Starting to bring even more feeling into the hips now. Start to wiggle around from side to side, maybe lifting one heel and then another, moving the knees from side to side, the hips, just wiggling around. Maybe you lift the elbows off the knees to help you find more space to move. Now come back to centre. If you've not got the fingers interlaced, then do so now. Start to take some circles with the wrists going in one direction. And now can you do the confusing thing of switching directions? Flip the palms so that they're pressing away from you. Fingers are still interlaced, stretching through the wrists and through the forearms here. Reach the arms all the way up overhead with them still interlaced. Take a teeny tiny side bend over to the left. Gaze underneath that right arm. Come back through centre. Take a side stretch over to the other side, opening the chest and the shoulders. And come back through centre. Unwind, release the fingers, give the hands a little shimmy shake out. Maybe some flicks, flicking away some bad juju, some bad energy. And now bring the right hand, so the palm is facing up to the sky. Start to press the thumb down towards the earth. Press the finger, the second finger, the third finger, and the pinky finger, just stretching through the fingers. And now take it to the other side, stretching the left thumb, finger, next one, ring finger, and the pinky finger. Once again, give them a little shake out. On your next breath in, sweep the left fingertips down towards the earth, the right fingertips up towards the sky. Imagine like you're reaching to pick a big juicy apple from a tree. And then option here is to take it into the bind, wrapping the left hand around that left shin. Right hand comes behind, and then we open through the chest. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Unwind from the bind, plant both hands on the mat, ground down through the right foot, and then step the left foot back into your lizard. Keep the back knee lifted for now. Point the right toes out at a right angle here, making sure the right knee is stacking above the right ankle. As you breathe in, drop the hips towards the earth, lift the chest towards the sky, and as you breathe out, press the floor away, round the spine, straighten through that right leg, gaze down towards the back foot. Back heel can be lifted or reaching towards the earth. As you breathe in, drop the hips, open the chest. As you breathe out, round the spine, straighten that leg. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. Deep breath in. Making sure the elbows are micro bent, not locked. Deep breath out. 1 more time. Inhaling. Exhaling, making it smooth and fluid. This time as you inhale, drop the hips and then drop the back knee. Come onto the knife edge of that right foot, sweep the right hand around, bend the left foot in, grab hold of that foot and start to draw the foot in towards the body. It might just draw in a few inches, it might come all the way in towards the glute. Once again, make sure you're micro bending that left elbow, not locking it out or hyperextending. Swiveling the chest towards the right hand side of the room. That's a fun word, isn't it? Swivel. Deep breaths in. Might be feeling a lot of sensations in the quads here. Now keep the grip on the foot, but start to walk the right foot in so it's in centre. So we're not taking it out to the side anymore, it's in line with the hip. Now maybe keeping the grip on that right foot, on that left foot, start to straighten the right leg, coming into a half split, but with a bind on the back foot. Maybe start to walk the left hand so it's stacking underneath the shoulder, lifting the chest slightly, maybe coming onto the left fingertips. Maybe for an extra challenge, you start to hover the left fingertips off the mat, maybe just for a single second. Maybe you can lift them off for a few seconds. Maybe you can reach them towards the front of the room. Big challenge. Bringing that fire right from the start. Hold. Oop, maybe fall, maybe come back. And then release the grip on the foot. Bring yourself back into a low lunge. Bring the 2 peace fingers and the thumb to interlace around that right big toe. Lift the back knee, step yourself into a Vinyasa with the bind around that foot, maybe. You can release the grip on the toes if it doesn't feel good. Holding here for an extra moment. Now can you keep that leg lifted as you release the grip, reach the right fingertips towards the front of the room. Inhale here, exhale elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap. 3 more. Extend, tap, extend, tap, extend, tap and hold. Squeeze everything in. Now extend and then drop the right toes down off the left hand side of the mat for Wild Thing. Bring the right hand into a fist. Start to take some circles on the wrist, going in both directions. Now keep the right hand lifted, start to hover the right toes off the mat, draw the right knee into the chest, slowly, step your way back into that low lunge at the top of the mat, walk the foot back out to lizard pose, ground down through the hands, step the left foot back to the top of the mat, landing once again in Malasana. Press the elbows into the knees, lengthening through the spine. Now keep one nice long line from crown of head to tip of tailbone as you lift the hips so the torso is parallel to the floor and lower. Lift and lower. We're doing 10 in total. This is 7, 6, 5, 4, nearly there, 3, bringing the heat into the hips, 2 and 1, last one, hold, and lower it back down into your Malasana. Just take a moment once again to wiggle around, and then on your next breath in, right hand sweeps down, left hand reaches up to pick your favourite piece of fruit, and then we maybe take it into the bind around that right leg and take a few deep breaths here. Release the bind if you've got it, ground down through both hands, step the right foot back this time, coming into lizard pose, left toes pointing out at an angle, left heel is in line with the right hand. As we breathe in, we drop the hips and lift the chest. As we breathe out, press the floor away, round the spine, straighten that leg. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. 3 more. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. 2 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Last time, fill those lungs. Empty the lungs as you round. Inhale, drop it down. Drop the back knee. Come onto the knife edge of the left foot. Bend the right foot into the right glute, sweep the left hand around for that foot, take that quad stretch and breathe. You might just be drawing that foot in a few inches, a few centimetres. Trying to soften the left shoulder away from the left ear, so not hunching and crunching. Now, keeping the grip on the foot, start to walk the left foot in towards the centre line, and then start to straighten that leg, still with the grip on the right foot. Maybe walk the right fingertips underneath the right shoulder. Maybe try hover the fingertips for a single second, maybe for a few seconds, maybe reaching them to the front of the room. Finding one point to fix your gaze upon, finding that drishti, whoop, falling out, coming back in, giving it a try, and then release, let go of that foot, come back into your low lunge, get the peace fingers around that left big toe, and then open it up into your Vashisthasana with the grip on that left toe, wobbling around here. Release the grip, keep the leg lifted, sweep the left fingertips to the front of the room, and then elbow to knee. Inhale to extend, exhale to tap. 3 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last time, deep breath in, deep breath out, squeeze everything in, hold, 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 and then drop the left toes down, flip yourself into your wild thing. Left hand comes into a fist and we take some circles. And then slowly, with control, start to hover the left toes off the mat, draw the left knee into the chest. Take a big step to the top of the mat, landing in your low lunge. I've totally forgotten where we were going. Oh yes, we'll walk the left foot back out into our lizard pose and then hop the right foot forward back into our Malasana. Reach the fingertips all the way up to the sky and then slowly start to press your way all the way up to standing. As soon as you get to the top, we slowly lower back down. You'll be pleased to know we're only doing 5 of these, not 10, so that's 1. Here's 2. Slowly, 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 and lower yourself back down. Inhaling as you rise up to the sky. Exhaling as you lower back down towards the earth. I think we've got 1 more. Maybe we've got 2 more. We'll say 1 more. I won't throw an accidental extra one at you. Lowering yourself back down into your Malasana. Keep the hands lifted, feeling the burn in the arms. And only if this feels good on your knees, start to swivel on the right toes, lift the right heel as you tap the right knee in towards the left heel. Lift it back up, swivel on the left toes, tap the left knee towards the right heel, come back through centre. 1 more on each side. Right knee taps towards the left, bring it back. Left knee taps towards the right, bring it back. Nice bit of mobility in the hips there. Once again, press all the way up to standing. Release the hands down by your sides. Maybe shimmy out the legs. Maybe wiggle out the arms, finding a release, a bit of movement that feels good. Look down at your feet. Can you see a little bit of the mat in between each toe, spreading them nice and wide? On your next breath in, sweep both arms all the way up to the sky. Maybe take a baby back bend. And on your next breath out, bend the knees as much as feels good as you descend down into a forward fold. On your next breath in, press the hands into the shins, come up to a flat back. On your next breath out, plant the hands, step right foot, then left foot back to plank. Lower down all the way onto the belly. Deep breath in, cobra pose. Deep breath out, release. Tuck under the toes, press back up to plank, wave the body back, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. First downward facing dog, so let's take a few moments to listen to our bodies and give some free movement. Or maybe you feel like stillness. Maybe you pedal the legs, maybe you shimmy the hips from side to side, maybe you wiggle around in the shoulders. On your next breath in, come up onto the toes, bend the knees so they're hovering just above the mat, press the belly back towards the thighs, and on your next breath out, take a step, hop or a jump forward into your fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find one long line from head to tail. Exhale, release. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up, come up to standing via a flat back. Breathe out, hands through heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step left foot, then right foot back to plank. This time, lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One cycle of breath here. On your next breath in, come up onto the toes, bend the knees. Exhale, make your way forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Deep breath in, Urdhva Hastasana. Deep breath out, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, and as you exhale, either step or hop back, landing with bent arms in your chaturanga. Fill the lungs as you come into upward facing dog, and empty the lungs as you make your way into downward facing dog for one cycle of breath. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to propel yourself forward. Deep breath in to fill the lungs and lift, and deep breath out to empty the lungs and lower. Bend those knees, sweep the arms high as you breathe in, and empty the lungs. Bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog for a full cycle of breath. Now work through 2 more sun salutations in silence, moving with your own breath, adding things on, taking things out, having some fun. Everyone meeting in a downward facing dog. Then as you are ready, once again, inhaling to prepare, bringing those knees to hover, pressing the chest back. Exhaling, hopping yourself forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, this time rise all the way straight up to standing. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center and then soften them down by your sides. I'm just turning so you can see what I'm doing. My right hand is going to glue on the outside of my right thigh. My left hand is going to come behind and hook around the inside of that right elbow. Now start to tip the right ear over towards the right shoulder, feeling a big stretch down the left hand side of the neck. Bring the head back to centre, ground down through the right foot. Keep this arrangement with the arms as you lift the left toes off the mat. Start to hinge yourself forward into a warrior 3. Holding here with this funky grip with the arms. And with that right hand pressing on that right leg, can you feel the activation in the right leg? Can you feel the quad working? If not, can you squeeze that quad? Can you lift that right kneecap? Finding that one line of energy from the crown of the head out through the left big toe. Holding here. Now take a big step back with that left foot, landing in a crescent lunge, still with this arrangement with the arms. If you can't feel that right quad now, then I don't know what's going to get it working. Keep the right hand as it is, unwind the left arm and take a big side stretch over to the right hand side. Deep breaths into the left side body. And now hook the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Bring the right hand to meet the left, pressing into your revolved crescent lunge. And as you're ready, drop the back knee down so we're in a revolved low lunge, keeping the left elbow glued to the outside of the right thigh. Start to straighten that right leg, lifting the right toes, coming into a twisty half split. The back toes can be flat or tucked under. Now for an extra challenge here, can you hover the left toes off the mat, pointing them towards the back of the room? Maybe you just hover them for a single second. Maybe you fall out, come back in, give it a little try. Whoop. Now if you've got the left toes lifted, bring them back down to the earth. Start to lift the torso. Upper body is still twisted to the right, but we're stacking the head over the heart, over the hips. Now open the arms into a T shape, reaching the left fingertips forward and the right fingertips back, finding our balance here. It's going to be easier to balance if you've got the back toes tucked under. Now start to lean back, reaching the right hand towards the left heel, sweeping the left arm up and over towards the back of the room. And then unwind yourself, sweep both arms straight up overhead as you bend into that right knee, coming into a low lunge, drawing the right hip back, drawing the left hip forwards. And now tuck under the back knee, lift yourself up into your high crescent lunge. Take 5 little dips with that back knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift that back knee, frame that front foot, step it back to a plank, lower down halfway, press yourself back up, lower halfway, press it back up, lower halfway and hold. Hold, hold, hold your chaturanga. Still holding, drop the knees at any time. And then pull through to your upward facing dog. Wave it back to your downward facing dog. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, hop yourself forward. Inhale, sweep yourself all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands come down by your side. This time, the left hand glues onto the outside edge of the left thigh and the right hand comes and hooks behind for that left elbow. Feeling the energy in that left leg as we lift the right foot off the mat, hinge from the hips, leaning the torso forward, finding one nice long line, feeling the activation in that left leg. And keeping the right foot nice and active as well, so either pointing those toes or flexing those toes, whatever you've got to do to keep that foot nice and active. Gazing straight down at the earth. And I'll take a big step back with that right foot, landing in a high crescent lunge, gazing to the front of the room, feeling that energy in that left quad. And now unwind that right arm and reach it over to the left hand side. Deep breaths into the right hand body. The right side of the body, I should say. All means the same thing, doesn't it? And as you're ready, hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Left hand comes to meet the right. Press them towards one another, using that press to help you swivel the chest over to the left. Maybe gaze towards the back of the mat. Pressing that right heel towards the back of the room. And now drop that right knee down, coming into your revolved low lunge, making sure that front knee is stacking above the front ankle. Now keeping the arrangement with the arms, start to straighten that front leg, lifting the toes, coming into a revolved half split, maybe wobbling around everywhere like I am, that's totally fine. This side is definitely feeling a lot more wobbly today. If you're up for the challenge of introducing even more wobbles, I'm not sure I am, you can start to point the right toes and lift them to hover off the mat. Maybe just for a second, maybe for 2 seconds, maybe 3, whoop. Now bring that right foot back down, start to lift the torso, stacking head, heart, hips, upper body still twisted to the left. Open the arms out wide, imagining like there's a piece of string attached to each of your fingers, drawing them in opposite directions. And then start to reach the left hand back towards the right heel. Right arm sweeps up and over. And then unwind yourself, rebend into that left knee, sweep the arms up overhead, scissor the inner thighs towards one another, so we're not sinking into the hips, we're staying nice and active. As we lift the back knee and take 5 pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come back to your high crescent lunge, bring the hands to frame the foot, step it back to your plank. This time take some circles on the wrists, moving around in one direction, moving around in the other direction. Come up onto the right fingertips, the left fingertips, right hand down, left hand down, onto the left, onto the right, left hand down, right hand down. One more each way, up right, up left, down right, down left, up left, up right, down left, down right. Rock your way forwards, lower halfway, press it back up, you guessed it, lower halfway, press yourself back up. One more time, keep it going, down halfway, hold, hold, hold. Squeeze those triceps, draw the shoulder blades down, holding, shaking, and then deep breath in. Pull yourself through to your upward facing dog. Wave yourself back to your downward facing dog and take a deep breath. A deep breath or 2, whatever you need to reconnect, to reset before we carry on building up some fire. Deep breath in to prepare, deep breath out, propel yourself forward however you need to get there. Inhale all the way up to standing, exhale hands down by your sides. Right hand glues onto the right thigh, left hand hooks around the elbow. As we did before, we'll hinge ourselves forward into our warrior 3, but this time we're going to open the hips to the left, slide the right hand down the right leg, release the grip on that elbow, but keep the left hand hooking around to the outside of the right waist or the right hip. So we're in a funky half moon here. You might release the right hand down to the floor, you might bring it to hover from the floor, or you might keep it gripping on that leg, holding here for just an extra moment, gazing wherever feels comfortable. We will all bring the hand back onto that right leg, keep the left hand where it is as you step back into a warrior 2. Right hand is holding onto the right knee, left hand is hooking around to the right hip. Sinking down into that right knee, pressing the outside edge of that left foot towards the back of the mat. Now start to straighten the front leg, reach the torso forward, forward, forward as you bump the hips back and slide the right hand down that right leg. Maybe reach it around for the big toe, finding that grip like we did in our side plank. And the left hand can shimmy even further around. the right hip or the right inner thigh. Triangle pose, trying to find lots of length through both sides of the waist. Unwind the left hand, sweep it all the way up to the sky. Reach it towards the front of the room. Bring the right hand to meet it, finding the strength in the core. And now bring the left hand down, bend the right knee, pop up off that back heel, reach the right arm up to the sky, revolved low lunge. Inhale here, exhale, straighten that front leg. Inhale, sink it back down. Exhale, straighten. One more time. Inhale, sink it down. Exhale, straightening that leg. Now keep that leg straight and keep the arms twisted towards the right. Find a micro bend in that knee as you lift the left hand to hover. Reach the left fingertips forward, the right fingertips back. So we're in a twist. It's a twisty triangle, just like we were in our half split, but this time we've got the knees lifted. Deep breaths here. Option to stay here or to reach the right hand back towards the left shin, the back of the left shin, the left calf, that's what the back of the left shin is called. Maybe even towards the left heel as you reach the left fingertips up and over. Big challenge for our balance here. Now unwind, bend into the right knee, sweep both arms all the way up overhead. Once again, we'll take those 5 dips for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift back to your high crescent lunge. Frame that foot. This time, step it to a 3-legged plank, keeping the right toes hovering off the mat. And you've guessed it, lower halfway. Press back up and draw the knee into the nose as you press up. Extend that leg, lower halfway down, 3-legged chaturanga. Press back up, round, draw the knee into the nose. One more time, extend the leg, lower halfway. Press back in, squeeze everything in. This time, extend that leg, lower halfway. Keep the leg lifted as you pull through to an upward facing dog. Press that leg up to a 3-legged downward facing dog. Flip yourself over into a wild thing as you breathe in. Once again, take the circles with that wrist. And then flip yourself back into a classic high plank. Work through a regular chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog. Exhaling to down dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, hop yourself forward. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Reach for the sky. Exhale, hands down by your side. Left hand glues onto the left thigh. Right hand hooks around, grabs hold of that elbow. Get really heavy in that left foot. Get really light in that right foot as you lift it off the mat. Hinge yourself forward into your warrior 3. Now start to slide the left hand down the left leg, release the grip on the elbow, but keep the right arm hooked. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Right foot is nice and active. You might feel the left foot quivering and shaking. You might let go of the leg and keep the fingertips hovering, or you might bring the fingertips down onto the earth. Once again, finding one point of gaze, finding your drishti. If you've let go of the left leg, bring the hand back to the left leg, keep the right hand on the outer hip, step yourself back into your warrior 2, left hand on the left knee. Notice whether you're leaning your torso back or leaning it forward. Find that head over heart over hips alignment. Look down at your feet, make sure that your front heel is in line with the arch of your back foot. And start to straighten that front leg, bump the hips back, bump the chest forward, slide that hand down that leg, maybe take the hook around the toe, maybe shimmy that right hand even further around the left leg. Gaze can be up to the sky, over to the side or down to the earth. Just breathing for a few moments in our Trikonasana. Unwind the right hand, reach the right arm up to the sky, reach it towards the front of the room. Bring the left hand to meet it, imagining you're holding a big beach ball in between the hands, squeezing the obliques, shaking, and then bring the right hand down, pop off the right heel, bend the left knee, left arm reaches up to the sky as we breathe in, and then as we breathe out, we straighten the front leg. Inhale, sink it down. Exhale, straighten. One more time. Inhale, lunging. Exhale, straightening. Then keep that leg straight. Keep the arms as they are. Find a micro bend in the front knee as you swivel yourself up. Pressing that back heel towards the back of the room. Finding the energy through the fingertips. Really opening the chest as far as you can to the left, or as far as feels good. And then maybe you take the option of reaching the left hand to the back of the right calf, sweeping the right arm up and over. Big, big challenge. And then unwind, bend into the left knee, sweep the arms up overhead and take those 5 dips for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to your high lunge. Bring the hands down to the earth. Step it back to your 3-legged plank. Lower halfway down. Press back up. Draw the knee into the nose. And then lower halfway, 3-legged chaturanga. Press back up. Draw everything in. Lower halfway down. One more time. Press, lower everything in, round everything in, and then lower through a 3-legged upward facing dog. Kick back to a 3-legged downward facing dog. Flip into your wild thing. Take a deep breath. Find some circles with that wrist. Take yourself back into your plank, hold for a moment, start to walk the hands to the front of the mat, hollowing out your plank, walking the hands and the feet far away from each other, as far as you want to, as far as feels good. Imagining yourself like Superman flying above your mat. Breathing. And then drop both elbows down onto the mat, one at a time or both at a time, landing in a forearm plank. Take some scapular push-ups. So keeping the arms as they are, we press the upper back up towards the sky and then lower the chest down towards the earth. Retracting the shoulder blades and protracting the shoulder blades. Drawing them apart from one another, bringing them in towards one another for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now press into the forearms, start to walk the toes in towards the hands, coming into dolphin pose, pointing the tailbone up to the sky, pressing the floor away. Now either both elbows at a time or one at a time, press the earth away, lift the elbows, come into your downward facing dog and then drop the elbows back down for dolphin. Dog, dolphin, dog, dolphin, dog, dolphin, dog. Come back down to dolphin, step the feet back out into your forearm plank, lift the right toes to hover, hold, tap the right knee in towards the right armpit, take it back out to hover, place it back down, left toes to hover, hold, into the left armpit, back to hover, place it back down, And then drop the hips down. Take a little moment in your Sphinx. Take some deep breaths. Drawing those shoulders down, lifting the chest high. Reconnecting to your breath in case you lost it. Gaze over the right shoulder, back towards the right toes, stretching through the left-hand side of the neck. Come back through centre. Gaze over the left shoulder to the left toes. Come back through centre. And the fire isn't over yet. We've still got one last sequence of fun, challenging things. Slide the hands back underneath the shoulders, tuck under the toes, press back up to your plank and back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right toes all the way up to the sky. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. One more time. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Hook that knee to the outside of the right arm. Shimmy the left elbow underneath the left hip. Fly the left leg off the mat. Hurdler's pose. Option to straighten the right leg, option to draw the left heel in towards the left glute, playing around with whatever leg variation you fancy, holding here. Step the left toes back, step the right toes back into a three-legged plank, take it straight back to your three-legged dog. Bring the knee into the nose, step the foot through between the hands, swivel yourself into a Skandasana, bending into the right leg, left toes pointing up towards the sky, hands compressed together at heart centre. Inhale, sweep the right arm down, reach the left arm up, maybe take a bind around that leg, find that opening. If you've got the bind, release it. Either bring the fingertips to the mat, the hands to the heart, or the ultimate challenge, the hands up to the sky as you travel over to the left-hand side, Skandasana. Take it back to the right, take it over to the left for 2, back to the right, over to the left for 3, going at your own pace, keeping it low, over to the right, whoop, back to the left one last time, over to the right. And then keep that right leg bent, sit your bum down on the mat, swing the left leg around so it's straight out in front of you, facing the long edge of the mat. You can keep the left leg straight out in front as it is, or you can bend it in towards the body for our next little bit of fun. We'll keep the right hand where it is, bring the left hand to the outside edge of the right foot, and then start to shimmy the right shoulder underneath the right knee, sweep the right hand over to the right, and then look underneath the left shoulder and the left armpit as you straighten that right leg. Compass pose. Like I said, if it feels better, you can bend in that left foot. Might help you find a bit more balance with that left leg as you kick the right leg up to the sky, maybe lift the right hip and come onto the right fingertips. Really big stretch through the left side body. Breathing here. And then release. Keep the right leg hooking over the top of that right shoulder. Release the grip on the hand. Extend the left leg out straight if it's not already. Plant both hands next to both hips. Press the floor away as you lift the left leg off the mat. Point both toes. Elephant pose. Squeezing that right tricep with the right leg. Holding, holding, holding. And then lower yourself back down. You can go for another round of compass, another round of balanced elephant, or extra challenge working into Astavakrasana, crooked in 8 places. So just like we did with balanced elephant, ground down through the hands, lift the left leg, this time cross the left ankle over the top of the right, maybe stay here or maybe shoot the legs out to the left, hinge the torso so you're gazing down at the mat. Elbows are bent at 90 degrees. Can you straighten those legs? Holding. Maybe taking a few tries. And then unwind, sit yourself back down. Right leg stays out to the right, left leg comes out to the left for our wide-legged straddle. Spin the chest so that you're facing the right leg. The hands are framing the right foot, either on the fingertips or on the hands. Press the floor away, lift just the hips, keep the feet on the ground for now. Lower the hips back down. Lift, lower, lift, lower, and now frame keep framing the leg, can't speak. Lift the leg to hover, place it back down. Lift the leg to hover, burning, place it back down, and lift the right leg to hover, place it back down. Now this is where your blocks might come in handy to help you work into this pose. Keep the hands framing that right leg, and this time we will lift the hips and we will lift both legs off the mat. Squeezing, holding, and then lower yourself back down, feeling the burn. Going over to the other side, frame the left leg and either on the fingertips or the hands, lift just the hips, lower back down. Hips lift and lower. One more time, hips lift and lower. 3 lifts with that left leg. Point the toes, lower, lift, lower. Try not to lean the upper body back too much. Lift and lower. Now frame that foot. Frame the foot, frame the leg, maybe grab your blocks if you wish, and we lift everything off the mat. We hold, we squeeze, we shake, and then we collapse back down, or maybe you land back down more gracefully than I did. Really feeling the strength in the inner thighs there. Bring the hands to heart center, bend in the knees, plant the feet on the earth, press yourself up into a malasana without using the hands, and then press yourself up to standing. Walk the feet out even wider into your goddess position and sink yourself down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sink it down for goddess. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands onto the knees, dip the right shoulder in, gaze to the left, come back through centre, over to the other side, back through centre, dip back in, come back through centre, once to the other side, come back through centre. Now point the right toes to the front of the mat, bring the left toes to your warrior 2 stance, sink into your warrior 2 with the arms extended, gazing out over the front fingertips, breathing. As you breathe in, come into your reverse warrior. As you breathe out, launch yourself into a half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Challenge to keep the right hand hovering off the earth. If the right hand is hovering, bring the fingertips to the mat, bend in the left knee, bring the left hand to the outside edge of that left foot and start to kick, kick, kick. That left knee open towards the sky. Ardha Chandrasana, Chapasana, sugarcane. Now keep the grip on the left foot, but square the hips and square the shoulders down towards the earth. Bring the right hand to heart center, bend into the right knee, tap the left knee to the back of the right calf for a Jiva squat. Straighten the right leg, tap it in. 3 more. For 3, 2, 1. Get down, squeeze, hold. Can you bend even further into that right knee? And then straighten the right leg. Keep the grip on the left foot, but bring the hand to the big toe side of that foot now, so the inside edge. Keep the right hand at heart center as you start to lift the chest, gazing towards the front of the room, and then start to kick the left toes up to the sky, reach the right hand forward, dancer pose, Natarayasana. Kick, 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 opening through the chest. Option to stay here in your dancer, or to come into king dancer by bringing that left hand to the outside edge of that left foot, swiveling the elbow out to the side, then up to the sky, bringing the right hand to meet the left. Once again, find that kick, find that lift. Whatever variation you're in, can you let go of the foot but keep it lifted? So don't let go and let it fling away. Find the control and then pulse the left toes up to the sky for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hinge yourself down into a standing split. Left toes sweep up to the sky. Come up onto the fingertips and then keep the left leg straight as you tap the left toes to the left wrist. Sweep them all the way up and tap. Let's do 3 more for 3. Can you get those toes even higher up the arm for 2? One more time for 1. Sweep them high, step them all the way back into a low lunge, frame the front foot, step it back to plank, work through a chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath to reset. Option to drop down for a child's pose for a moment before we do all of that again on the other side. Fun times. Lots and lots of challenges thrown in there. So as you are ready, inhale, sweep the left toes up to the sky. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. Exhale to tap. One more time. Deep breath in, extend, deep breath out. Hook that left knee to the outside of the left arm. Bring the right elbow in towards the right hip. Fly the right leg off the mat. Maybe straighten the left leg. Maybe bring both heels in towards both glutes. Balancing in your hurdler's pose. Ekapada Vinyasa. Squeeze the fingertips into the earth so you're not putting too much pressure on the wrists. Now step the right toes back, sweep the left toes all the way back up into your 3-legged dog, and then bring the knee to the nose, step that foot through. Swivel yourself round into your Skandasana, your side lunge. Sweep the right fingertips up, the left fingertips down. Maybe take a bind around that left leg. If you've got the bind, release it, either with fingertips on the earth, hands at heart center, or arms up to the sky. We travel onto the right leg, over to the left. Over to the right for 2, back to the left, over to the right for 3, back to the left, over to the right for 4, back to the left one more time, over to the right, back to the left, and then sit yourself down. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me. So this time, left leg is bent, right leg is straight. Swing the right leg straight out in front of you. Left hand is on the floor next to the right knee, and then we bring the right hand to the outside edge, pinky toe side of that left foot, and then we sweep the left arm over to the left as we straighten the left leg up to the sky. Look underneath the right shoulder, the right armpit. Big opening. Maybe you bend that right knee in. Maybe you come up onto the left fingertips and lift the left hip. Compass pose. Big opening in the shoulders, the side body, the hamstrings, the hips. It's a good one. Come back through centre, release the grip on the foot but keep it hooked high up over that left shoulder, straighten the right leg if it's not already, ground down through all 10 fingertips, lift the hips, lift the right leg, point the toes, balanced elephant, holding here, feeling into the shakes, and then come back down. Take a little break, take another round of elephant, or join me in Astavakrasana, crooked in 8 places. Get that left leg as high as you can, up to that left shoulder, plant the hands, lift the hips, cross the right ankle over the left, shoot the legs out to the left, bend the elbows, maybe straighten the legs, gazing straight down at the earth, playing around, falling out, coming back in, wobbling. And then come back through centre, left leg stays out to the left, right leg swings out to the right. This time, we're not going to do one leg at a time, we're going to ground down through the hands, lift both feet off the mat, bring them back down. Lift the feet to hover, bring them back down. Lift the feet to hover, bring them back down. Now can you ground down through the hands and lift the feet and lift the hips? Huge, huge challenge. Oop. You might just lift for a single second, you might lift a single millimetre. Should we go for another round? Let's go for another round. You can sit and chill, or you can join me one more time. Lift. Oh, that is a big challenge. Now, sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Hinge yourself halfway down. Bring the chest to hover. Don't collapse down into the fold. Lift yourself back up. Lower halfway down. Hover. Bring yourself back up. One more time. Lower down, hover, and then this time surrender down to gravity, descending into the fold, bringing the stomach and then the chest down towards the earth, keeping the toes pointed up towards the sky. Walk yourself back upright, bring the hands to heart centre, plant the feet on the earth, lift the hips to Malasana, and then press yourself back up to standing. Once again, heel toe those feet out so you're in a goddess stance. Sweep the arms up, bring the hands through heart centre as you sink the hips down. Inhale, sweep everything up. Exhale, sink it down. Inhale. Exhale, one more, inhaling. Exhaling, sink it down, pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, lift the right toes to hover. The right heel to hover, place it back down. Lift the left heel to hover, place it back down. Lift both heels to hover, hold. Breathe, shake. Place them back down. Bring yourself into warrior 2, bending into the left leg. Fingertips extending long. Breathing. Really drawing that left hip into the left hip socket. On your next breath in, find the reverse. On your next breath out, launch yourself into your half moon. Finding that line of energy from the right fingertips to the left fingertips, from the crown of the head to the sole of the right foot. Keep that right foot nice and active. Left hand might be hovering off the earth. If the left hand is hovering, bring the fingertips down, bend the right knee, reach for the outside edge, the pinky toe side of the right foot, and then find that kick. Opening the chest, the hips, the inner thighs. Another one of my favourite poses. Now keep the grip on the foot, but bring the torso to face the earth. Hips and shoulders are squared, facing the mat. Bring the left hand to the heart as you bend into the left knee. Tap the right knee to the back of the left calf and straighten. Tap, straighten, tap, straighten, tap, straighten. Switch the grip so you're holding the big toe side of that right foot. Lift the torso, gaze straight ahead, and then start to kick the right foot up to the sky as you reach the left hand up to the sky. Vinyasa, dancer's pose. Kick, 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 lift, lift, lift. Stay here, or bring the right hand to the pinky toe side of that foot. Swivel the elbow up to the sky, flip your grip. Bring the left hand to meet the right, king dancer. Can you release and keep that leg lifted? Find the control. Pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Windmill yourself down into your standing split. Right toes sweeping up to the sky. Come up onto the fingertips and then tap that right wrist. Sweep the leg high. Inhale, exhale, tap. 3 more. Inhale, exhale, tap. 2 more. Can you get that foot even higher up the arm? Tap. Last time. Tap. This time, big step back with that right foot into your low lunge. Frame the foot. Step it back to plank. Work through a chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take 5 breaths here in your downward facing dog to reset, reconnect to the breath if you lost it. Slowing the breath down, making it smooth and soft. As you're ready, once again, lift onto the toes, bend into the knees. This time, hop yourself through to seated, maybe swinging the legs through in front of you, Dandasana. Toes pointing up to the sky, stacking head over heart, over hips. Drawing the shoulders down away from the ears, lifting the chest up towards the sky. Now plant the left hand on the earth next to the right knee. Bring the hands onto the earth with the fingertips either facing backwards, fingertips facing towards the front of the room, and then cross the right ankle over the top of that left knee. You can start to walk the left foot closer in towards the body, and I've changed my mind. Bring the fingertips to face the back of the room. That'll probably help you get more of a press into the hips. So like I say, you can bring the chest close towards the legs, or you can have a big gap between the foot and the body, and you can just keep the chest leaning back. Whatever gets that sensation in your hip feeling good. Keep the right foot nice and active. Keep that right knee drawing away from you. And as always, make sure you're not collapsing into the spine like this. Try and stay nice and open. Now keep this arrangement with the legs, and now turn the fingertips to face the front of the room. Walk them a bit further behind you. Ground down through the left foot. Start to lift the hips so you're in a reverse tabletop with the right ankle crossing over the left knee. Lower the hips back down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. Hold here. Just an extra moment. Option to lift the right toes up to the sky for an extra challenge. Bring the right ankle back to the top of the left knee. Sit your bum back down. And then bring the left heel in towards the right hip. Right foot stamps on the floor on the outside of the left knee. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, twist to the right, Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. You can give that left knee a hug. You can hook the elbow to the outside of that knee. You can straighten the left arm and reach it around for the inside edge of the right foot. You can take a bind underneath that right knee. So many different options here. You can play around with them all. Find whichever one feels the best in your body. Whatever version you've chosen, I would encourage you to find some extra length as you breathe in and find some extra depth as you breathe out. Unwind back through centre, take a little baby counter twist in the other direction. Keep the left heel drawing in towards the right hip. Bring the right heel in towards the left hip, stacking one knee on top of the other. Gomukhasana, cow face pose. You can stay here or you can add the arms, bringing the left arm up and over, the right hand behind, grasping the hands behind the upper back, or you can just take the right hand onto the top of the left elbow and draw that elbow down towards the earth. If you've got the clasp behind the back, think about pulling the right elbow down towards the earth and pulling the left elbow up to the sky. Play around with the positioning of that left elbow, maybe moving it from left to right, seeing where the stretch feels the best. If you've got the arrangement with the arms, release, give the arms and the wrists a little shake. Bring the hands to interlace, take those wiggles with the wrists. Maybe take some waves, getting wavy baby. And then you can stay upright or you can fold down over the legs. As you draw your next breath in, draw yourself back upright. Keep the right leg as it is. Extend the left leg straight to the front of the mat, keeping the left foot nice and flexed, nice and active, and then once again descend down over the legs. You might rest your head on top of that right knee. Deep breath in as you draw yourself back upright. Uncross the legs by stamping the right foot on the earth this time. Shimmy the hands behind you. Bring the left ankle to cross over the top of the right knee. fingertips facing the back of the mat for now. Start to walk the torso in towards the knee, maybe shimmy that right heel closer towards the body, or maybe take it further away, whatever feels best for you. And this side might feel completely different from the other side. That's very normal. Nothing to be concerned about. It's just interesting to notice the effects of our asymmetrical lifestyles. Maybe you always carry your bag on the same side. Maybe you always push off when cycling. Maybe you always set off with the same leg. Maybe you kind of slump into one hip throughout the day. All these things can have an impact, and we can just notice the effects and maybe bring that awareness into the rest of our lives to try and find a bit more symmetry. Now bring those fingertips to face the front of the mat, ground down through the hands, lift the hips, press into the earth with that right foot, right knee stacking over right ankle, shoulders stacking over elbows, over wrists. Inhale, exhale, drop the hips. Deep breath in, deep breath out. 3 more, inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Inhale, exhale. 1 more time, lift everything up, hold. Option to take the challenge of bringing the left foot to reach up towards the sky for a moment, and then bring it to cross back over the right knee. Lower the hips down, right heel comes in towards the left hip, left foot stamps on the floor. We deep breath in, we take a deep breath in as we sweep the arms up, and we take a deep breath out as we twist to the left, hugging that knee, hooking the elbow, reaching for the foot, or taking the bind. Whatever works for you, whatever feels good. Just make sure that you're keeping all 5 toes of that left foot rooted into the earth, and that you're keeping the chest nice and lifted so you're not hunching or collapsing. Unwind, take a baby counter twist over to the right. Left heel comes in towards the right hip. The knees stack on top of one another. There might be a gap, that's absolutely fine. Gomukhasana, finding the alignment in our spine here. Maybe add the arms by bringing the right elbow up to the sky, and then maybe grab hold from behind, or bring the left hand onto the right elbow. Release the arms, give everything a little shake out, and like we did at the start, bring the right hand to face up to the sky and then press one finger at a time down towards the earth. Do the same with the left hand. And then take a deep breath in to lengthen and a deep breath out to fold over the legs if that feels good. Letting the breath become super soft and subtle, letting the body know that we're really slowing things down. Refill those lungs as you draw yourself back upright. Keep the left knee as it is. Extend the right leg out straight. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold. That left knee may be making a little pillow for you to rest your head on. Keep that right foot nice and active. Notice if it's gone a bit floppy. Unwind, press yourself back up, bring the left leg to meet the right. Both toes are nice and active. Both toes, all 10 toes, both feet is what I was trying to say. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Find length, 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 and then fold down over the legs, prioritizing the length in the spine rather than thinking about reaching for the feet or anything like that. So the length and reaching the spine forward is more important than folding down. If you have got the hands on the feet, you might take a moment to give the toes a little massage. Like we stretched the fingers back, you can do that with the toes here. When I first started yoga, anytime they suggested touching my feet, I was like, ew, no, I don't want to touch my feet. But hopefully you're like me now, where you're totally happy to give your feet a little bit of love. Stretching out the entire posterior chain here, all the way from the soles of the feet to the back of the neck. Inhale, bring yourself back upright, shimmy the hips in towards the heels, plant the feet on the earth, reach the fingertips forwards, slowly, keeping integrity in the spine, lower yourself down onto your back. Once you get there, hug both knees into the chest, maybe you reach for fingertips, for wrists, elbows, giving everything a nice big squeeze. Feeling the belly filling with air and pressing the thighs away from you. And then feeling the belly emptying, feeling the knees drawing back in towards you. Bring the hands onto the knees, start to take the knees in circles, going in the same direction as each other. Going in the opposite direction, knees still together. And then start to take the knees in circles, away from each other in opposite directions. Switch direction. Bring the hands either to the inside or the outside edges of the feet. Push the feet up to the sky as you draw the knees down towards the earth. Maybe bending and straightening one leg at a time if that feels good. Happy baby. Release, plant the feet on the outside edges of the mat, let the knees drop in towards one another, and then windshield wipe the knees over from one side to another, letting go of any tension remaining in the hips and in the spine. Come back through center, let the knees drop over to the right, hold there for a few breaths. Hands can be wherever feels comfortable. Come back through center, drop the knees over to the other side. Back through center, any final movements that are calling to you before making your way into whatever shape you want to make for your Shavasana. Could be a Supta Baddha Konasana, could be a constructive rest pose that I'm showing now, it could be a traditional Shavasana shape. Take a moment, wiggle around, get comfortable, get out any little niggles. I will encourage you to lift the head slightly and then tuck the chin into the chest to find some length down the back of the neck. Lift the chest slightly, shimmy the shoulder blades towards one another, finding some space across the chest. Lift the hips, lengthen the tailbone down towards the heels, finding some spaciousness in the lower back. Option to bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly to help you connect to your heartbeat and to connect to your breathing. Can you let your breathing become so soft and so subtle that if there was another person lying next to you, maybe there is another person lying next to you, that they wouldn't even be able to hear your breathing? Can you make it so subtle that even you can't hear your breathing? You can just feel it. You can feel your belly rise and fall. You can feel that warmth on the inhale, the coolness on the inhale, and the warmth on the exhale. But it's so soft that it's almost silent. As we did at the start, we checked in with our breath, and we're checking in with it now, noticing how it has changed, if it has changed. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't, since the start of the practice. Take another check in with your body. If there was tension at the start, is it still there? Has that tension dissipated? Has new tension crept in? Do you feel the same? Do you feel different physically? No right or wrong. And like we did at the start, if there is still some tension, can you send your awareness and send your breath into that space? Can you absorb some of that tension and can you send it away from the body with the exhale? Finally, checking in once again with your mind. Are the thoughts still scattered and frantic, or are they more calm and still? Maybe it has changed, maybe it hasn't. Just noticing. Now settling in for some stillness and some silence. If you feel like staying in Shavasana for longer, I absolutely encourage you to do so. If you are ready to move on, then bring some slow and gentle movement back into the body. No need to rush, just checking in with what your body is asking for. Slowly making your way up to a seated position, keeping the eyes closed for the last few moments. Today, as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, and peace in your heart. Thank you so much for choosing to share your practice with me today. It is an absolute honour to have you with me for this yoga practice. It's the first time I've ever filmed a 90-minute practice, so I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed filming it. If you did, I would be so grateful if you could take just a minute to subscribe to my channel so that you never miss another class with me. I would love to receive some comments from you letting me know what you thought of this class. I really do love receiving comments on my videos. They make me so happy. And of course, if you give this video a like, it lets me know that you enjoyed it and that I should make more like it in the future. So hopefully I will have you with me on your mat again very soon, and hopefully you have a wonderful day. Sending you so much love.